It's a brand new spec home, hardie-board, batten board with the comb face pine trim. It's never been painted. So I'm wondering, what would you recommend as for a product for that?
So, well, Hardie at its core is concrete boards, right?
Yes.
I don't know if some homeowners know that. I might have been guilty of myself at one point, but it is concrete, and you really want to make sure that you're using the right primer for this, not only to bond, but to stop any efflorescence or any issues later on down the road. Depending on your builder, your home could already have pre-dipped, primed hardie board siding.
That's right.
You would be able to tell this by if you had some water and you shot it at the side of the house, just with your hand, literally. If it's beating and the water's rolling down, even like just a little bit, you most likely have some sort of primer on those boards. If you're throwing water at the side of the house and it's absorbing right in, it's probably not primed. And then that's where I would recommend using a primer. I would definitely recommend using the Loxon concrete and masonry primer. If you're going to go on top of it, I would recommend for the highest level of protection, the Loxon self-cleaning paint. Actually, it's a new paint. It's has this new technology where the paint actually dries on an inverted angle. It makes it harder for dirt to cling to the home. And then once it rains, it actually washes that away. And that's what we use on actually a couple of our Sherwin buildings in town here. I understand that not everyone's budget is going to be made out for self-cleaning paint. So if we were to go with 100% acrylic coating, like our A100, which many of our builders do, that's a great system there for you.
All the windows are vinyl windows, so we're not painting those. We're not painting the soffits, the metal aluminum soffits, but we will be painting the comb face pine trim that's surrounding all the windows and all the trim. So what product would you recommend for that?
So similar to MDF, you'd want to prime this with the Extreme Block Alkyd primer. So that's going to stop your edges from swelling due to if you used a water-based primer. And it's also going to just have a better grip on that wood.
And you'd put that right on the comb face pine, like
right,
all over.
Direct to it. Yep. So that's your primer. And then after that, like it's, most trim I've seen a couple of houses with the brown or black trim, but it's white. If you were to use A100 on top of that and you're using that on the rest of the house, it would be great. I would always recommend a higher sheen for trim, but I know I've seen this trend where we're going lesser sheens as well on homes. You used to have like the low luster and then semi-gloss trim. I've even seen flat and then satin or low luster trim. So that is really a design choice.
Yeah, I think that's like 85% of the time they go with like a flat or a satin sheen body with a semi-gloss trim. Semi-glosses, I find, tend to hold up. They tend to be a little bit harder. I don't know if that's 100% true or not, but I find that they're a little bit more resistant to scratches, to cleaning, especially if you've got moss on a certain side. It definitely holds a little bit better than the flat that has no sheen, right?
It definitely does. It helps moisture to bead off the surface more easily as well, right? So yeah, I do like the semi-gloss trim. I'm also guilty. I've seen some trends coming out of Toronto where you have flat walls and eggshell trim.
Yeah, I've seen that.
On the exterior as well. So it really, again, is a design preference. If you are going for longevity, a semi-gloss and a satin or low luster combo, semi-gloss on the trim, satin or low luster on the body of the house, that would be the best recommendation.